Court Reporter with Stovall and Associates.
We're back with our final segment with Harley Cloak, Pahrump Town Board member. Before we went to that break, you were talking about some of the sensationalistic journalism that happens in this town between the two newspapers. Do you feel as if maybe you've been villainized because being outspoken prior to being in office and now holding office for a couple of years?
Certainly, and what bothers me a lot is, intellectual ability to use intelligence. And so I'm not saying that certain people are stupid, but it seems like they don't want to use the gift that they have to look at things and see it for what it really is. They just want to, sensationalize everything. Mm-hmm. I like the fairgrounds development is a perfect example. I mean, we're trying to, we paid a bunch of money to somebody, so all they want to do is talk about the money that we spent.
Right.
But they don't want to educate people by saying, look, we hired somebody, a former Disney guy, who was the head Imagineer at Disney. He just didn't sit down and think, I think this would be cool for Pahrump. He dealt with a lot of professional people. He brought them here, experts in certain fields, and they analyzed all kinds of data from, Las Vegas, all kinds of stuff on the internet. They took a lot of time.
Traffic flow, economic studies, yeah.
Right, to come up with an opinion based on facts of what would work. And the media has the ability to inform people of how all this works and everything, and they really don't. And to me, it's like cutting your nose off, spite your face, right? I'm sure all the newspapers would like to sell a lot more and be more successful, so they're hurting their own selves. They don't have the vision to look into the future of trying to educate people.
So again, what we're talking about is people focusing on a price tag for a project versus what you think the long-term benefit for the community would be.
Yeah, and then also it's like it's room tax money. It's by people to come here and stay in a hotel or an RV space. It's taxes collected from that. Well, what the town has been doing with it, which, for years, which kind of bothers me, is that they were spending it going to different places, advertising different places, come visit Pahrump. And I keep telling them, well, if we don't give them a reason to come to Pahrump, they're not coming. So we're not accomplishing anything with those expenditures. So now at least we're trying to give them a reason. Like take all those tour buses that come through. If the fairgrounds development was, if we got on it and we get it all done and whatever, there's no way that those tour buses would just drive through Pahrump, stop for a munchie at Smith's and Albertsons, and then take off. They would be telling the driver, hey, we want to go in there, what's going on? And then the tours would be rearranged that they do stop in here and spend some money in Pahrump, some real money.
And you have facilities to take in those tour buses too.
Right.
So, okay, so I guess what I think, outside of the comments about your life serving the public and outside of that, I think what we've been talking about is taking control of the town. Ultimately, it comes back to incorporation. Yes,
unfortunately, we don't have a county commission. I don't understand the animosity, to be honest with you, between the town and the county. As you said, 4 commissioners live here, but like I said, they're only interested in their own self-serving reasons.
Well, I mean, every time we have somebody on this, and I think we've had almost every county commissioner, I know we've had every town board member on the show, everybody says we're trying to bridge the gap. We're trying to bridge the gap.
But actions speak louder than words. Denying, they stacked the deck, right? I mean, here, let's look at the recent decision about Rene Morales' dump. Mm-hmm. The paid professionals, the people they pay to work in the planning office, said everything was fine. And then the non-professionals who serve on the board, the planning commission, who are hand-picked by the county commissioners, in my opinion, to be no people, the no board, to vote no on everything, they stacked the deck against it. And then, so the town board says, well, let's put Harley Cloak on her. They still got 7 other people on there, I think it is, that's theirs, right? Mm-hmm. So you're still afraid of one person you don't get to select, and then you're going to tell me that they're trying to bridge the gap? No, they're not. They constantly slap the town around, and I'm not afraid to stand up to them. But so
this isn't an argument about Harley Cloak, and you're saying that you believe that the best interest of your voting constituency is not being served.
Well, I don't believe the best interest of Pahrump's being served, because Pahrump doesn't pick it, the commissioners pick the people to be on the planning commission. That means the planning commission serves the will of the planning commissioners. Mm-hmm. Well, what is that will? Well, obviously it's anti-business. Where do you want me to start? Everything, we don't have enough time. There's a tremendous long list of businesses that have been run off or never even got the first base in Pahrump, and others that never would even consider Pahrump as soon as they start going on the internet and looking at Pahrump. And that's because of the county commissioners. It's not the county employees. The county employees serve the will of the commissioners or they get fired, so we all want to have a job, so you do the best you can to bridge all that. I have no fault with any county employees. It's the county commissioners, past and present. I mean, think about it. Over $250 million of pet money alone. Where is it? What did they build with it? Not one residual income. I mean, that's just common business practices. I get some money invested in something that'll make me money down the road, right? Just like your business and my business. We invest money in our business, and so it'll make us money. Well, they haven't invested in anything. They got nothing to show for it. And look at where the county has spent money in Pahrump. This is really important. The county commission wants Pahrump to evolve around criminal activity. That's their vision for Pahrump, and the facts speak for themselves. They accuse other people of circumventing the law. You know, it's the old accuse somebody else of doing what you do, right? They changed the zone, and they got rid of a law that says no houses within 9.5 miles of a prison. So they get rid of the law, put the prison in the neighborhood, then put the law back. They build a jail that has more beds than Carson City Jail. That's a fact. They added on courtrooms. So their plan for Pahrump is a criminal community. Well, that's not my vision for Pahrump. I don't want that.
The criminal justice system isn't a revenue stream?
Not really. When all the money you spend processing somebody that's arrested and everything, do you get your money back? No. It's a liability. It's not an asset. It might be for a few people to get those nice paying jobs, but for the rest of it, it's just not an asset.
So today, 2.5 years in to your time spent, will you be seeking re-election?
Well, that's at this point we don't know what that'll be. I'll be frankly.
Well, I guess that's true.
I'm looking for lieutenant governor at the moment. I learned from the last election that rural Nevada is mostly Republican, and Democrats don't get elected. And so I either move to even Carson City is mostly Republican. You either move to Reno, or I move to Clark County, where all the Democrats are at, or I run for a state office.
Right.
So I'm very much into tourism and economic development, which is what the office of the lieutenant governor focuses on.
Sure.
And so that's what I plan on doing at this point. That could change, like I said. I don't know what the future is, but.
Well, when you throw your hat in the ring, we'll have you back on to talk about it. That sound good?
Yeah, great.
Thanks for watching tonight. Guest tonight was Harley Cloak, Pahrump Town board member. Always controversial, but always fun to have on. We'll see you next week, 5:30. Thanks for watching.
Court reporter with Stovall and Associates.